Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and we are going to be casting quarter final number 3 of the DreamHack Open Summer 2013 tournament. And it is going to be a very, very awesome game. In the first quarter final, it was xhairymuppetx versus Lucifron, and xhairymuppetx pulling out some very nice wins there to go on to the semi-finals. And in the second quarter final, it was Tasia versus TLO, and Tasia also pulling out some extremely awesome gameplay to move on to the semi-finals. So xhairymuppetx and Tasia are going to be facing each other in the semi-finals, but moving on to see who goes in the other semi-finals is going to be this quarter final. And first off, we have our red Zerg player, Life. Life is a South Korean player, and he's playing for the StarCraft clan, which is also a South Korean based clan. So he's going to go in there, he's going to do some awesome stuff. He's a very, very awesome Zerg player, and of course it's I suppose it should be obvious that every single player at these quarterfinal series of games is going to be extremely awesome, but we'll mention it anyway. And down the bottom right side, it is going to be SjoW. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It may be SjoW or something like that. But he is a Swedish player, and he is playing for Team Property, and they are actually a Swedish clan as well. So the fact that the DreamHack is run in Sweden is going to give this guy a huge fan support advantage. I guess he's going to have the home ground advantage, the home ground advantage as well. And yeah, a lot of players going to be supporting him while he plays, and we'll see if that gives him the edge to push on, get into the semi-finals. And of course, we've still got a couple more quarterfinals going on after this. I believe after this it is going to be Stardust, a Protoss player, and Hyun, a Zerg player. Hyun, we've seen quite a lot of him, and he is very, very awesome. But they are going to be in the final quarterfinal, and whoever wins that quarterfinal is going to be facing off against either SjoW, and Life. So first of all, we'll go ahead and we'll see who wins this quarterfinal series, and I can promise you this is going to be totally epic. So what have we got going on? We've got a nice fast expansion from the Zerg player, which you would of course expect, plus a spawning pool, so they're going to drop down about at the same time. And yeah, he should be either producing 2 queens or a bunch of early lings off both those bases. The Terran player going for a fairly standard timing command center, I think. He's not worried about blocking off the ramp. Yeah, you saw that disappear for a second. That is some funkiness to do with the GameHeart interface I'm using. Now, this is game was actually cast using the GameHeart interface. So basically, you can have a whole bunch of observers in there. If we have a look at here, you can see all the observers, as well as SjoW and Life. It's got all these other guys, and they can actually watch the game live while it's being played using this interface, while the people playing the game see only the default Starcraft interface. So it is pretty great as far as watching the game live, and it's not bad. It's not bad as far as watching a replay as well. I had to get a custom interface to move all these buttons over from there over here because they were blocking out all this stuff, but it all works out. The only thing I don't like about this interface though is I can click on a unit and I don't see a little overlay pop up, so I can't see exact health values. I can't click on a unit and see how much armor or weapons upgrades it's got. I can see all that down here. It actually shows the armor upgrades, and if we press G, of course, we'll always be able to see the upgrades there. But yeah, so it's got some advantages. Seeing the income, then the worker numbers up here, always an awesome job. This Ling going to manage to get in there, is going to get a full scout off, so he sees the factory with the reactor coming down, and yeah, he knows that it's going to be Hellion pressure. He may choose to build some Evo chamber sort of a gate over here, or my guess is he's just going to pump up some more queens. He's got 3 queens at the moment, but a couple more would not help him with Hellions coming out on the map. Definitely would not be that bad of an idea. Now he's got an armory coming down. I'm guessing this is going to be a starport. That's another thing I see. I can't click on this and know what's automatically popping up because there's no overlay. There are a couple of Hellions coming out, but they are going to get swarmed by Lings. This is not good. He's going to get the bunker up just in time, and he can put up a stand here, and he should be enough to wipe out all these Lings, especially with the Hellion pressure. The Hellion DPS just taking it down and using this as a focal point. Zerg is moving some more forces out, but I don't think he's going to attack with them. That would just be completely retarded at this point. He's just going to go for some watchtowers instead, maybe, or just build up forces. But the Terran player, man, he's got that starport coming up, and he is going to be going for Hellbat drop, I can only assume. Because why not? Hellbat drop, so effective versus pretty much all races right now. You just drop them right on top of the mineral line and they just roast everything inside, and they're quite bulky, so it takes, I mean, the queens don't directly counter them just because they got so much health and it takes so much for them to die. So really great choice, and the Zerg player is going to be having a lot of trouble with Hellbat drops for this entire game. You see these Hellions just I think they're not quite as fast as the Lings, but they're pretty fast. So yeah, it's going to be enough to get away. And yeah, here we go, a couple of medevacs coming out, so we are going to be seeing Hellbat drops in the next couple of minutes, and he's really gone in fast for these Hellbat drops, and I mean, why not? They're so effective. We can see one Ling through here. Watching for this expansion, the Zerg has chosen to go for this expansion instead of this one, so yeah. I guess it's, I guess this is a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to defend, I think. I'm not really sure. I mean, the thing is, with this watchtower, he's got a lot better idea of what dropships are coming down here. With this watchtower, sort of, yeah, but it's easier to run around. It's easier to run around this one as well. I'm not really sure. But this medevac coming out, he doesn't see a base here, but he's going to go straight up to the main. However, a bunch of Lings are going to be in there to intercept. This queen can destroy the medevac if given enough time. The drones all run away, so this drop is not going to work. He has the speed boost. He's going to get out of there, but he realizes the medevac is about to go down. There it goes. The Hellbats are on their own, and when they get completely surrounded by Lings, then they pretty much don't have any hope. If they get into some sort of bottleneck, though, where they don't get completely surrounded, then they can do quite a lot of damage, and it's possible they can even survive. But man, oh man, oh man, SjoW is got up quite a large Hellbat force. Has 6 Hellbats plus some infantry to back it up, and he should be able to do quite well pushing in here. The Zerg player, he's just got Lings, and I don't know if it's going to be enough, because with this many Hellbats, he can really do a lot of damage. But there's a lot of queens here, 5 queens. They can transfuse each other all day, and they're going to be focusing down the Hellbats. The Hellbats trying to run away as fast as they can. But here we go, medevac peeling off with a couple of Hellbats going to go in. These guys are going to get away. The Zerg has bigger things to worry about, and that is these Hellbats. But the Lings running over, managing to get us around. And they didn't get back up to medevac in time. So for now, the Hellbat pressure being dealt with quite well. But he really needs to get some sort of roaches out there. Really need to get some sort of roach harass. Baneling's not too bad of an option, but roaches would do so much better at shutting down this Hellbat offensive. A couple of scouting Lings coming out. They're going to see the Terran player still hasn't got his 3rd base. It's not really something he's... Well, the Terran player is starting to get worried about it now. But the Zerg player is going to know exactly when this expansion comes down. He might expand here, actually, but... constant Lings being sent out to do a bit of a scout. And here we go. He sees a bunch of forces there, so he can sort of expect the expansion to go down there, but he is seeing these rocks going down as well. So here we go, another dropship coming out with a bunch of Hellbats in it, almost certainly. And yeah, these guys, they're going to run in, maybe try and take all these guys out. They've got the geyser at their back, so they can't get a... Oh, I was about to say they can't get a full surround, but they did manage to get in there. Bunch of reinforcing forces coming out. Where did that dropship go? I can't see the damn thing. Please don't tell me it got taken out. I must have got taken out. Must have been a Queen Frenzy or a Spore Crawler or something. Yeah, I am very sorry I missed that, guys. But yeah, I meant to see that bloody drop, but I was concentrating on the attack here, and yeah, I mean, you can't be everywhere at once, so... We can safely say that those Hellbats didn't really do much, because the previous set didn't really do much. And we are going to move on. We've got Baneling Speed coming up, and we do have Spire, so it looks like it may be a fairly heavy Mutiling sort of thing going on. We're not going for range upgrades, so yeah, definitely looks like Lings and Banelings. And Mutiling, not a bad idea. I mean, as soon as you mix Banelings into the mix, I mean, Hellbats, if you've got a very large amount of them, they could provide a pretty good wall against banelings, but yeah, if you're fighting on creep, then the banelings can just run circles around you and still take out the marines and stuff like that. Here we go. See, doing a fairly good job here. Just running in, wiping out all the tumors, wiping out a couple of overlords. Why not? We've got a bunch of banelings. They've got to look for the sweet spot to take out these marines, but these guys just got to run away. They're going to be just in time to get off the creep, and once they're off the creep, but they do have a large amount of lings, and the lings are going to keep them sorted out. He's trying to run away, but there's just too many lings, too many banelings. All of his ground forces are going to be taken out, but he's got some reinforcements here, and the XhaiRy probably doesn't have enough to deal with them. He got one Widow Mine down, a couple more over here, so they did a fair amount of damage. I can't see the kills anymore. Alright, I'm definitely preferring the other interface. Even with the income and the army and all that sort of stuff here, definitely preferring the other interface. But here we go. Got to see a couple of overseers over there. They've got to be careful though, because these Widow Mines can shoot air. Oh, I thought he was outside the range, but maybe not. And he got a nice hit on the overseer, so good stuff for him. And yeah, this marine group's going to run in there, but the lings are going to run in. He's just managed to get off the creep. He's going to stim away, run straight off the creep, see if he can kite it, but with the mutas coming in as well, he gets the baneling hits off, but he doesn't quite kill all of them. However, there's only 3 marines left, and they're just going to survive with the medevac healing. But a bunch more marines coming out. He's doing a good job at receding the creep, so this creep spread over here is going to get back, and he manages to save a large bunch of marines. He's going to drop them down over here with the rest of the reinforcements. Some Widow Mines coming out, doing a great job, but he popped them all off with individual lings, and then the swarm comes along, and he's going to put them off on the high ground. So this is an excellent decision by the Terran player there. Really helping out, but these guys down on the bottom side, they're not going to be doing too well. The mutas actually coming in. There's not really that many marines to scare off the mutas, and they've got so much ling support down at the bottom, and it's just continuously back and forth, but the banelings reinforcing in, and that is going to be the Terran's cue to just run away. He's saved most of his medevacs, but he does not have the ground forces anymore. He's going to run in, but the ling's got to follow him over the supply depot, and the Terran player is in a lot of trouble there. He may be able to clean up the lings, but this is a very large muta force, and they are destroying everything in sight. And the Terran player, man, is in a lot of trouble there. He's trying to build up some forces, but I think it may be too late. The lings and the mutas just completely overwhelming him, and they're in among the production facilities, so he can just wipe out the guys as soon as they come up. A couple of Widow Mines going down, but that is not going to save him at this point, because yeah, just look at all these banelings morphing in, and that is going to be the GG. So Life taking out the first win, and yeah, going on and doing an awesome job with that mutaling harass. Awesome use of banelings. And the Terran player just constantly on the back foot. He had the upgrade disadvantage as well. You can see the Zerg player had 2-2, but the Terran player, he was about to get 2-2, but yeah, when it really mattered, he only had 1-1, so not very good for him. And the Zerg just pushing and pushing, really doing an awesome job. And oh, sorry, bit of a late night last night, and yeah, congratulations to Life for taking out their first win. And SjoW is yeah, all his fans are going to be not very happy at the moment. Not very happy, but yeah, he may be able to rally back. He may be able to get back into it, and we may still see one of the home players making it to the semi-finals. And I'm sure everybody watching this tournament, or everybody who was watching this tournament, would be extremely happy to see that. And yeah, to tell you the truth, I would too, because why not? It's yeah, I mean, the 2 players who made it in the semi-finals so far are both South Korean, and yeah, I'd love to see a mix in there, in the semi-finals, in the finals, all that sort of stuff. But of course, everybody knows the South Korean players, man. They are very dominating players. It's very hard to beat them, and we've just shown that here in this game. So we'll see if SjoW can get back in there and do some damage in the next game, and I will catch you guys then.